Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2017 mid-month readings. Thank you for joining us here today and welcome to any newcomers who are with us for the first time. Always a thank you before we begin to those of you who continue to watch and listen and follow my channel. Thank you so very much, and also for taking the time to write your comments and send such lovely support and feedback. Always welcome, very appreciated, and I read each and every one of them. Thank you so much. And thank you to all those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings, and a special note of gratitude as well to my regular clients for allowing me to be part of your lives on an ongoing basis, and for the consistent feedback you send and how those readings play out in your lives. And if anyone is interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can click on the little about or description button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and that'll give you a little more information and detail. Also has my email address. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do a variety of readings: love, romance, compatibility, career, work, and finance, year overviews, anywhere from 15 minutes up to an hour and a half, a variety of readings. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. Current turnaround time for personal readings is anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks, sometimes a little sooner. I do readings full-time 6 days a week, so I'm able to get back with you pretty quickly and almost always set up a reading within 2 weeks. So moving right along, remember these are general readings. You're probably tired of all of us saying that, but we have to because there's thousands of you watching and they're general readings, so they're not going to mean the same thing, of course, to everyone who's watching to the same degree and intensity. So if you know your rising and your moon sign as well, please watch those. They may play out a little more predictably for you than your primary sun sign. And just by watching them, you may just get different pieces of the picture, different bits of insight into what's going on in your life during the time frame that the reading covers. So try to watch all three if you can. I am continuing to use the Gilded Tarot deck by artist Ciro Marchetti. Drawing the customary 8 cards I typically do, with an additional 9th card from the bottom of the deck representing your crowning energy, overall energy, and advice. So let's move into this. This reading is for our bulls, the earth sign of Taurus. March 2017, mid-month for the earth sign of Taurus. Let us see what the remainder of March 2017 has in store for our lovely, grounded Taurians, the bulls. March 2017, mid-month for Taurus. Okay, Taurus, we begin with the 7 of Swords, followed by the 7 of Cups. We have the 5 of Swords, followed by the King of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the Empress, and the Ace of Wands, followed by the Ace of Swords. Well, whatever it is, you're going to get through it pretty well. New beginnings all around at the end. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is Temperance. Understandable. Let's just take a look, Taurus. So Taurus, we begin with the 7 of Swords, followed by the 7 of Cups. A bit of conflict around the middle of the month, although this could be something ongoing or something that's been happening recently for you. Sevens do represent conflict or kind of a circular type of strife. The 7 of Swords, Swords is air energy, mental, cerebral, intellectual energy, not emotionally driven. It's more about what goes on up in our heads, words, ideas, communications, belief systems, how we look at things and how we communicate them. It's also, Swords is also about truth and knowledge. and higher education sometimes, or education learning. The Seven of Swords is sometimes referred to as the thief card. It can represent that some of you may be, somebody may be stealing from you or have stolen from you, actual tangible theft of things like money, property, something like that. You can apply that same energy to spirituality or relationship issues. Emotionally, it can represent giving to someone or a situation, even a job or a career path, where you're giving and giving and giving, and the person or the situation is taking and taking, but you're not getting anything back. So in the end, you're left feeling kind of depleted, exploited, taken advantage of, drained. It can represent that also on an emotional level. Um, so it looks like, again, some of you may have, there may be actual tangible theft going on, or you may just feel like you're being taken advantage of, exploited, drained in some way, and not getting anything back. Now, the Seven of Swords is paired with the Seven of Cups. Cups is water energy. It's about that mercurial world of our feelings, our emotional landscape feelings, and also can be relationships and love as well. The of Cups can be a card of multiple options. It can also often represent a sense of fantasy, daydreaming, not looking at something in a grounded or realistic way. It can represent something being presented to you to be almost too good to be true, absolutely perfect. Each of these seven cups is filled with potential, basically, almost impossibly perfect, impossibly beautiful potential. So this combination of cards, Taurus, the story's going to split off a variety of different ways because there's so many of you watching. So the situation's going to vary for those of you for whom this resonates. Some of you, you may be contemplating investing in something or getting involved in something. Somebody may be trying to get you involved in something, whether that's an investment of money or time, or just, presenting something to you to be some extraordinary, fabulous opportunity, when in fact it's not really what it's being presented to be. And you really, for any of you who are kind of involved in that, please make sure to do your homework and your research, because there's something, the Seven of Swords ultimately is secrecy, deception, things being veiled, the whole truth not being told, something being presented to be one thing when in fact it's actually not. It can represent that as well. So if you're being asked to be involved in something or get involved in something, particularly if it requires a significant investment of money or time, make sure to do all your research and homework, because I feel like it may not be everything that it's presented to be, the beautiful opportunity it's being presented to be. Some of you, this can represent a situation you're already aware of, or you're finding out about, that you're being taken advantage of, stolen from, or being exploited or taken advantage of in some way. And that Seven of Cups represents, that you're trying to figure out what to do about it, and you're not sure how to deal with it. You're not sure kind of what avenue to take in order to deal with this. So it just depends on which Taurian you are watching this. Now, moving forward, we have the Five of Swords, followed by the King of Swords. Lots of mental energy here. 3 sword cards, 4 sword cards, 1 pentacles, 1 wand, and 1 cups. Okay. So the Five of Swords is technically a victory card. And I say technically because sometimes it can represent a rather shallow victory, a victory which comes at a very high cost. And the question that always accompanies the Five of Swords is something worth it? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes it's no. The Five of Swords can also represent a victory or coming out on top, winning, but it comes at the cost of a personal relationship or other people. You can see that the man on this card has just finished a battle or a conflict of some kind, and he's obviously the victor. His opponents or foes or enemies are on the ground behind him. They're defeated. He's gathered up all their weapons, and he's holding his own aloft in victory. But it's still kind of a bleak looking card. The colors of the card, he looks very tired, worn out, exhausted. He's bleeding from a little cut on his forehead. This battle has obviously cost quite a bit. The people on the ground behind him can sometimes represent winning at something, but it comes at the cost of a relationship, a personal relationship, or a set of relationships. Sometimes it can represent getting ahead in business, or somebody getting ahead at the cost of stepping on other people in order to do it. But it does represent winning, but it's a win, it's a victory that comes at a cost. And the question is this worth paying? Is it worth investing in this battle, in this fight? And again, the answer is really up to you and your personal situation. Now, the Five of Swords, and it's related to whatever this is. And I think for some of you, it's, do I take an aggressive stance in dealing with this? Is it worth doing that? Do I fight? Do I fight back? And how do I do that? Is it going to be worth it? What's it going to cost? Now, the Five of Swords is paired with the King of Swords. So, kings and queens represent individuals who've reached the mastery of their suit. They've matured and evolved beyond that immature, younger energy of the page and that spontaneous, impulsive energy of the knights. So the King of Swords, this would be somebody who's very clear, insightful, very practical, somebody who's prone to come more from a place of the head of thought before feelings and emotions, because that's swords. It could represent an air sign, sun, moon, or rising, which would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Kings and queens typically represent older, more reflective individuals, although it doesn't have to mean older in chronological age. This would be somebody very intelligent, if not well educated. Somebody who's all about higher knowledge, learning, truth seeking. In the reverse, they can be quite cold and sometimes emotionally very detached or unavailable. Now, I feel like this King of Swords is represents an actual person involved in this situation. For some of you, this could be somebody that you're going through this with, a partner. It could be the person who is taking from you or taking advantage of you, or that you think is in some way somebody that you end up battling. It looks like you may end up getting a victory over them, although again, the cost looks kind of high. It's showing up as a male because it's coming up as a king, but this is a general reading and there's so many of you watching. It could easily be a female as well. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra person. Is this worth going to battle with this person or against this person? I don't know. That's a question only you can answer. I feel like if you did, there's a good chance you would come out on top, whatever that might mean in the results of the situation. But it looks like the cost would be high. So you would have to really kind of think carefully and weigh out all the pros and cons of that. For some of you, this could be in your job, a workplace situation, a career path situation as well. You may have been fired, wrongfully let go of. Somebody may have taken a promotion away from you, something of that sort. I say that because we do have some work energy coming up next. Next, we have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Empress. The Eight of Pentacles is the worker bee card. Pentacles is earth energy, which is what governs the suit of Pentacles. So it manifests typically in things in our earthly material, concrete world, things we can see and touch and feel, like work, career, money, finances, property, real estate, etc. The Eight of Pentacles represents having worked pretty hard to build up a pretty good, stable foundation for yourself, financially, materially, or just something else that you've been investing a lot of yourself in, and successfully as well, because you're up to the eight already. And it's success in building up a foundation because of your dedication, commitment, perseverance. It can represent working a lot, working overtime, getting up earlier, staying up late, being very detail oriented. That's how you've built up this foundation for yourself. It represents something that you've invested a lot of yourself into and been very committed to. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is paired with the Empress, major arcana card, so significant, profound energy. She is the traditional Earth Mother of the Tarot. She is all about nurturing, sustaining, feeding. She can also represent nature itself, being outdoors, which, as a point of advice, sometimes when we're trying to figure stuff out and make important decisions, it can help to spend time or regular time in a nature environment, because it kind of removes us from normal distractions and helps us kind of get centered and clarify. So that's also a piece of advice. The Empress is all about new beginnings, fertility, pregnancy, rebirth. It could be sometimes actual fertility in terms of conception and pregnancy, although I'm not really getting that out of this reading. The Empress is about new beginnings, though. It's about the time being right, it being a fertile time to plant seeds to start to grow something new. The Empress is usually the green light, the go for new projects, new relationships, new beginnings of some kind. It's not a card of completion. It's a card that says now's the time to begin something new, to plant the seeds. And paired with the Eight of Pentacles, this could be that it's time to take whatever this situation is, whether it's job, career path, a project, a relationship, although I feel it's probably more concrete, or whatever, for those of you for whom it represents something being taken from you, something tangible. However it looks, the fundamental advice feels like it's time to move on. It's time to kind of reevaluate and have a new beginning somewhere else. This could be getting a new job somewhere else, looking for a new job because you're really disgusted with what's going on at your current workplace or your current job environment. Um, it's time to take a look at beginning something new again. And that the last two cards wrap up the same way too. At or towards the end of March 2017, perhaps transitioning a little into the beginning of April, we have two aces together. We have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. It's a good indication of success to whatever new path you begin or new venture you begin. I feel like it has a very good chance of success, and it looks like you have kind of a new outlook and a new perspective on that. Aces represent ones, the beginning of something new, the start of a new path, something that has a lot of potential um, to grow into its full potential. Aces represent seeds. The Ace of Swords, because swords is all about ideas and belief systems and how we look at things, the Ace of Swords represents a new idea, a new perspective, something that comes in, the light bulb going off, your aha moment, something that comes in and gives you a new perspective or a new way of looking at something. And it could represent a whole new idea itself. The Ace of Swords comes in and it exposes and illuminates something for the reality of what it is in its absolute clarity. And it's paired with the Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings again. But this is the Ace of Wands, which is governed by fire. So this is action-oriented new beginnings. These are new beginnings that are full of passion and creativity, and it's all about manifesting and building as we move forward. And it feels very exciting. And it feels like this happens in a pretty short period of time. Whatever this situation is that is the springboard for this, it feels like it was negative or challenging. Somebody, there's a dishonesty, deception going on here. You're just being flat out taken advantage of. Some of you may be in a position to have to make the decision, is it worth fighting for or fighting against? And again, that decision is up to you. It looks like there is an air sign individual involved in it, whether it's as a beneficial partner or somebody you're actually in conflict against. You're going to have to make the decision if it's worth kind of going to battle for. And it looks like a lot of you do make the decision to transition into new beginnings, to leave whatever this is behind and start something new, something fresh. I feel like it has a lot of potential to succeed, and it feels like something very exciting. Like you're going to be creating something completely new. The advice, your general overall energy and advice from the bottom of the deck is temperance. This is a card of temperance, balance, moderation, patience, harmony. It's all about being emotionally grounded and centered too. My favorite analogy for temperance is being in the middle of a seesaw or a teeter-totter. When you're on the outside end, you're kind of at the mercy of the elements. You're prone to kind of going up and down. But temperance is kind of finding that serenity, that place of acceptance, so that being at the middle of that, so no matter what's going on around you, you don't lose your balance. You may wobble, but you won't fall off. You maintain your balance, particularly in an emotional and spiritual way as well. Staying grounded and not making any spontaneous or impulsive choices in how to deal with this. I think you need to weigh things out very carefully, consider the pros and cons. Um, in how to deal with whatever you're leaving behind as you move forward. But it definitely looks like you're transitioning in April into some really exciting new beginnings, a really exciting new path, and beginning to create and build something new for yourself. And it's the right time to do it too. So, Taurus, that pretty much wraps up your March 2017 mid month readings. I hope you have enjoyed it, or that you at least find it useful and informative and helpful, because that's why we do these readings. Uh, Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, feel free to click on that little about or description button on my YouTube channel's homepage. I would be delighted to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2017 general readings. And until then, Taurus, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.